Okay, we are live. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming out here in person to the Rocky Mountain Miracle Center, and thank you guys for coming out online. Lovely to have you all. And let's just take a couple of minutes and just breathe and become present. Let me get some music going. We're just going to leave the world behind for a couple minutes. Tune in. All right. Come on, music. There we go. Okay, so let's close our eyes and take a breath and just breathe. Just notice how it feels to be just here, right now. Draw your awareness inward and upward. And see if you can feel that inner spirit, that inner eternal spirit that you are. The Course in Miracles tells us that we remain exactly the way that love created us. Nothing has changed our purity, our innocence, our power, our perfection, our beauty, and our eternal nature. Nothing. Our eternal, innocent, sinless nature has remained exactly the way we were created from the beginning. So let's tune in to our natural self, our innocent self, our perfect self, our pure self that has never changed. Let's tune into it, feel it. Let's remember it. The Course in Miracles says this path is just about remembering. It's not becoming something we're not now. It's just about remembering. So let's remember. Our true self, our higher self is in our memory. God is in our memory. And we choose to remember now. And just breathe and feel. What does it feel like to remember who you really are? As perfect, as sinless, as still whole. What does it feel like? And breathe it in. And what does it feel like? Thank you. Thank you. What does it feel like to just be here right now? What does it feel like to just be present right here, right now, not in the past, not in the future, just here now? Breathe it in. And let's go ahead and give our healing circle right here, right now, to the spirit of healing and the spirit of truth and the spirit of inspiration. Spirit of inspiration, spirit of truth, we give you this healing circle where we have come together to listen to the truth about us together and to be healed by the truth about us together. And we thank you for this opportunity to come together and to remember together that we're not separate and we're not alone, and there is no death and there is no sin. And we are connected. We are one. And for just a moment, let us feel our one self. What does it feel like to not be separate? What does it feel like to be one, for real, connected? This is what it feels like to know you're not alone. And when you know you are not alone, you are not afraid. And when you know you are not alone and not on your own, you are healed. And so we practice remembering and feeling the truth about ourselves. We practice it. We practice it together. We heal together as we live together and as we love together. We come home together, or not at all. So let us be together. Let us awaken together. And breathe. We are one self, united with our Creator, and we are one with every aspect of creation. And we are free. We are free to save the world. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, take a breath and begin to bring your awareness back to the room and back to your body. Remembering you can return to this oasis within, this holy relationship within, at any time, in any place, for free. Don't forget the for free part. We all like a good deal. Is it free? Okay. Yeah, exactly. You know what they say, nothing good comes for free. Well, that's not true. All the love, all the joy, all the power, all the peace, it is free. Freedom is free. They go, freedom isn't free. No, actually it is for everyone. So, okay. And when given that it's for free, you would think we would take advantage of it more often. Given that love and peace and freedom is free, you would think we'd be like, all right, I'll take it all. But we don't for some reason. Okay, but we're going to remedy that today. So where we're going to be at today is in the teacher's manual of A Course in Miracles. And for those of you guys watching online, where we're at is in the first comment in the comment section. So if you need to know where we're at, guys watching online, first comment of the comment section, you'll see where we are reading from. No, it's I'm sorry, it's the teacher's manual. Manual for teachers, which is technically the third book, if you leave out the clarification of terms. But so the Course in Miracles is a book that has 3 sections. The teacher's manual is the 3rd section, so it's more to the back of the book. And if you need help finding it, just do you know where it is in the book? Okay. It's question number 16. Okay. Excuse me. Of course, right as I start teaching, all this stuff comes into my throat. I have not coughed one time in days, and all of a sudden it's like my ego starts coming up to choke me. For some reason, my ego doesn't like it when I teach. I don't know why. Gee, I wonder why. So does everybody see where it's at? Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay, great. So I'm going to tell you what I've titled this so that you get the gist of where we're going in the overall, my particular overview of it. I titled this Supercharge Your Progress on Your Spiritual Path. Say, is anybody here not perceive that they are on a spiritual path of some kind? Anybody? Okay. I'm assuming that folks watching online also are on some kind of spiritual path where they have said, I want to wake up to who I really am. My beauty, my power, my freedom, my joy, my aliveness, my health, my happiness, my peace. I want to get on a path that's going to take me there so that I love my life. I love myself. I love my life. I love the world. I'm happy. I'm healed. I'm at peace most of the time. That's what a spiritual path is for. When you say, I want to be happy, I want to experience something better than what I'm experiencing right now. At the moment that you decide, I really want to, be happy and experience peace, you enter onto a spiritual path, even if you don't believe in God, even if you don't believe it's possible. As soon as you say, I want to be happy, immediately your higher self goes, I thought you'd never ask. Oh my God, how many lifetimes? All right, okay, let's get to work. And then immediately your higher self puts you on a path toward that experience. And the reason being is because when you say, I want to be happy, I want to be peaceful, I want to feel free, I want to love my life, you are saying, I want to be myself, I want to be natural. Something's not right here, right? Something's not right here. And then as soon as you have that awareness that there's got to be a better way, as soon as you say that, your higher self is like, all right, and boy, do I have a path for you. And remember, last time I spoke, I was doing the section where it was talking about the way you can tell the path that your higher self puts you on, the way you can recognize it. Remember that? All the characteristics of the path that your higher self puts you on, and your higher puts you on a path that's wholly and completely unique to you. The things that make you happy, the things that when you're doing those things, you lose track of time and space and you feel happy. And because of that, you are more loving. Okay. So, so it's talking about the path. So this section I feel is the perfect, what's the next installment of that teaching, where it talks about how should a teacher of love spend their day? Okay, so once you're on a path where you're going to learn that you are loved and teach that you are loved, which is what ultimately saves the world along with you. Now that you're on that path, how can you best utilize your day? How can you best utilize your time so that you really supercharge your path, your purpose here on earth at this time? So since you're here to be a teacher of love by remembering that you are love, which makes you happy, which makes you a healer by default, how should you spend your day? How should a teacher of love spend their day? Okay. Does that sound like a practical topic?
Yes.
How to supercharge your progress on your spiritual path. In other words, how to use your time. How to use your time each day to supercharge your progress on your spiritual path to what? To becoming the happy being that you are, so that you can become the loving being that you are, because that's the only way to save the world. And it definitely needs to be saved. If you haven't noticed, the world is in need of saving, which means the world is in need of being happy. Have you ever noticed the world doesn't seem to be a real happy place, except for maybe on weekends? But then you got to pay for it, with, hangover or whatever, or a big bill. Okay. I know. I think I should move this. I'm going to move this. And thank you for that, Carla. Yeah, my ego doesn't want me to talk. It don't want me to be seen. Yeah, any moment that's going to have me trip over this carpet. Luckily, it's just y'all out here today. So, Othel, you're so sweet. After you laughed, after I busted my ass. Yeah, right. Thank you. Oh, well, yes, she would. Yes, she would. Okay, here we go. So we're talking about how to supercharge our progress on our spiritual path of becoming happy so we can become more loving, because that's the only way to save the world, which, thank you, Jeanette, definitely needs some saving, which means making happy. Okay, here we go. So it says, how should a teacher of God spend their day? Okay, and Course in Miracles defines God as love, just in case you're wondering. Okay, so it says, to the advanced teacher of love, this question is meaningless. There is no program, because the lessons in the curriculum change each day for the advanced teacher of love. Okay, now then it says, yet the teacher of love, that's us, by the way, is sure of only one thing: the lessons each day do not change at random. So when you are on your spiritual path and you're working your spiritual path to become happy so that you can be more loving, so that you can be a teacher of love, a demonstrator of love, you know one thing for certain every single day, and that the lessons for you each day are not random. As a teacher of love, that the lessons for you each day are not random. Whatever's going down every day is no accident. There's a lesson for you that day that you need. For what? To become more loving, to become more happy, to become more happy so you can become more loving. That's the purpose of every single lesson, every single day, every single person you meet, every single situation you find yourself in. That's the one thing that you know for sure every day. The lessons today are not at random, and they're for me to become more happy so I can become more loving. Okay, then it says, now, once you see this and understand this is true, then you're going to rest content. You're not going to be restless. What am I supposed to be doing? What's going on? And isn't something different should be happening? Why isn't anything happening? You rest content because you know that the lessons are not going to be random every single day, all day long. Okay. Isn't that nice? So you can rest content. You know, me, I'm so restless. My ego always tells me I should be doing something different than I'm doing. Always. It's always like, well, you should be doing something different. I don't know what it is, but you should be doing something different, right? That's what my ego says to me all day long. Whatever you're doing, Anna, you should be doing something different. Well, okay, thanks, ego. Well, what is it, ego? I don't know. Okay. Okay, great. Now, and the reason that your lessons are not at random, and so you should rest content, is because you will be told all that your role should be this day and every day. This is what you know as an advanced teacher of love. Okay, you'll know that you're an advanced teacher of love because you're relaxed every day. You're like, Holy Spirit, be in charge. And whatever I need to learn today, and it's going to be there for me today, and it's not going to be random. And whatever I need to do today, I'm going to be told. So I'm chill. I'm relaxed. I'm relaxed. That's what the advanced teachers of love, how they experience their day, their time. Okay. And then it says, and the advanced teachers of love, they know that those who share their role with them will find them so that they can learn the lessons for the day together. This is what the advanced teachers of love know. I'm going to be told whatever I need to learn, and whoever shares that learning goal with me today is going to find me, and we're going to learn our lessons together today, and it's going to be great. And the advanced teacher of love also knows that not one single person who's supposed to learn your lessons with you will be absent. Whoever I need to learn my lessons with today, they're going to be there. Exactly. They're going to be there right on time. Okay. And the advanced teacher of love also needs that nobody is sent to me without a learning goal already set, and a learning goal which can be met this very day. That's what the advanced teachers of love know. Okay. And that's why the advanced teachers of love, they're relaxed. They rest content. They're relaxed. They're not restless during their day. They know that the lessons are going to come that they need. They're not going to be at random. Whoever's supposed to be learning those lessons with them that day are going to be sent, and they are going to learn their lesson together that very day. That's what they know, the advanced teachers of love. Okay. And then it says, and so for the advanced teacher of love, the question, what should I do today, is superfluous. I love that word. Superfluous. So the advanced teacher of God isn't like, what am I going to do today? What am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be doing? Oh my God, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something, but I don't know what it is. And I'm pretty sure that it's not whatever I am doing. Okay. But the advanced teacher of love rests content because they know all this. For the advanced teacher of love, this question, how should I spend my day, or how should I spend my time, has been asked and answered. And so the advanced teacher of love keeps in constant contact with that answer, how you should spend your time, how you should spend your day. Let me turn this down. Okay. All right. So the advanced teacher of God is always aware of exactly how they should spend their time. The advanced teacher of God is set on their path, and they see the road on which they walk stretch surely and smoothly before them. So they're relaxed, they're chill, they are trusting that the lessons they need will be given them that day. Whoever's supposed to learn it with them will be sent to them, and they'll learn it. Okay, and it will be great. And so they're relaxed about how they should spend their time. Okay, so when we say, how should the teacher of love spend their day, we're also talking about how should we spend our time in general. Okay? You know, the Course in Miracles has us thinking in terms of saving time. The Course in Miracles is like, you should think of time in terms of saving time, meaning how to use time efficiently to accomplish your goal. What's your goal? To be an advanced teacher of love, where I go around fulfilling my function of teaching love by remembering that I am love. Okay, that's the goal. And so, you know, how do we use time optimally to accomplish our goal as demonstrators of love, which means healers for the world? Okay, so that's what we're talking about here. Yes.
Relating to this, thank you. This is such a, of course, right, perfect lesson for today.
Okay.
I spent this morning with 3 other friends in a mindfulness workshop. It was about other things too, but then this is when I'm worried about being in control. Personally, allows me to be much more mindful.
Yeah.
And I can savor the moment. And mindfulness kind of equals love, right? Like,
absolutely.
I can focus on love. So,
yeah. That's exactly right. You know, when you're present, you tend to be relaxed. And when you are relaxed, let's say at peace, you are naturally loving. When you're happy, when you're relaxed, you are naturally generous and kind and helpful. And so as a teacher of love, your goal, literally, the Course in Miracles says, is to accept the truth for yourself so that you can be relaxed, so that you can be present, so that you can be naturally loving, naturally generous, naturally kind. You know, you don't have to be like, I need to be loving. I need to figure out how to be more generous. I need to figure out how to be more kind. In other words, I need to figure out how to not be myself. You know, all we have to do is, how can I feel more relaxed, more at peace within my own self? And then you just can't help yourself. Wherever you go, whatever you do, you can't help yourself but be kind and loving and generous and helpful. That's why the Course in Miracles says the one responsibility of the teachers and healers is to accept the truth, the healing for themselves, you know, which is a big improvement from what we do, which is right, running around trying to fix everybody. It's like, stop trying to fix everybody. Just focus on yourself. And then that will take care of everything.
And spirit's another example, the dogs, the animals, right? Spirit's not going around trying to fix everything.
No.
Spirit's just in the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, is it spirit's love?
Yeah, exactly.
And she deals with her nervous system much differently than we do. She literally shakes it off.
That's right, literally, right.
She barks when she's angry. She sleeps when she's tired.
Yep.
Her natural state.
She resides.
Yes, that's right.
Dealing with the moment in the moment.
Exactly.
So
and that's why people say dogs are so healing. That's why there's pet therapy. You know, because they're present, and they're always on the earth, or they're always earthing, you know, so they're always chill. Okay. All right. Okay, great. So we just heard about how the advanced teachers of love spend their time. Okay. This is the efficient way to use your time to accomplish your ultimate goal. This is the way to do it. Okay. Then it says, I love the paragraph starts with a big old but. But how should you spend your day? We just heard in paragraph 1 how the advanced teachers of love spend their time, but how should we? Implying that maybe, just maybe, we're not the advanced teacher of love yet. Maybe. Yes, you can. Yes, like you're doing it right now. Yeah, exactly. It says, but what about those who have not reached the certainty of the advanced teacher of love? Okay, anybody in here admit that they have not reached that certainty? Like, I'm so cool, I'm so chill. I know that whatever lessons, I know whatever lessons are for me today are going to find me, and whoever's supposed to learn them with me and are going to find me, and we're going to learn it perfectly. And so I'm relaxed all day long. I'm chill. I'm not stressed. I'm not anxious. I'm not controlling.
So, I had a beautiful opportunity to go on a road trip, as you know. And I came back from that road trip as part of the vision was that we needed to practice the 3 R's.
Mm-hmm.
To rest, relax, and receive.
Mm.
And that each of those stages, which is beautifully covering, each of those stages precede the former, rather than the latter. So I have to rest. Rest means be still.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But relax literally means, just like Jeanette was saying, allowing our nervous system
Yes.
to calm,
Mm-hmm.
and that receiving truth doesn't happen until we reach that stage.
That's right.
That when we're not at that stage where we're still and our bodies are not, I was literally looking at a lake and I had my jaw clenched. It's this nice calm, and I hear Spirit say, "Why is your jaw clenched?"
Mm-hmm.
But my body's just used to being in that
Yes.
hypervigilant state,
That's right.
And so we can't even receive this truth to integrate it and live it until we allow ourselves to get to that point.
Exactly. And thank you for saying that, because it just described in paragraph 1 how to use time, how to spend your day so that you literally can be in a relaxed state, a mindful state was the perfect word you used, Kelly, a mindful, relaxed, present moment state. It just told you how to use your time, or what to remember, and what to trust. What to trust. Spirit, higher self, I trust that you have my lessons planned out for me today, what you want me to learn. I trust that whoever's supposed to learn those lessons with me today, you're going to send to me, and they're going to find me, and we're going to be able to fulfill that lesson together perfectly. And the result's going to be great. Okay. That's a state of trust. And that is what enables your nervous system to be relaxed, and then the more relaxed you are, the better you can hear your higher self going, go here, go there, say that, do that, don't do that, don't go there, say that, don't say that. The more you can, the better you can hear that still small voice guiding you brilliantly.
So all of that is consistent with the principle in the Course in Miracles that peace comes before understanding.
That's right. Very good.
What we're
That's
learning
right.
Here is how to use our time to become peaceful.
Yes.
So that we can hear the guidance.
Yes.
And follow through on what the rest of this is. The day is to bring. Yes,
that's exactly right. Thank you for saying that. The Course in Miracles does say that peace precedes understanding. We're always like, oh, I'm just trying to understand, and once I understand peace, and like, oh, really? But that's not the way it goes at all. First, you have peace, which comes from forgiveness or trust in your higher self. And then understanding comes. That's why the Course in Miracles says the goal of A Course in Miracles is peace of mind. The Course in Miracles does not say its goal is that you understand. You need to understand. People go, you need to understand something. And you're like, immediately, you go, I don't know if I want to. Yeah.
I don't think any of us would have lasted if we were trying to understand.
We would have never made it this far if the goal was understanding. Yeah.
I also feel like the harder things have gotten for me, especially over the last year, that is more of an opportunity to trust. It's sort of like the test of, do you trust me? Sure I do. And then,
That's right.
Harder and harder and harder things, and the more I leaned in and the more I trusted in the hard times.
Yes.
I don't know, things just got better and clearer and closer to this.
Right.
Closer to the peace.
That's
I
right.
was talking about. Yeah.
Exactly. There's a line in the workbook where it says something like, ultimately the whole workbook is to teach you how to give your day to God. But here's like 365 daily lessons. just to get you to the point where you're like, God, I give the day to you. And then you actually trust God throughout the day. This is teaching you how to actually work that trust, use that trust, rely on that trust in your higher self, in God, in spirit, whatever you want to call that, love, to guide you every single day so that you can fulfill your function, which makes you happy so that you can become more loving and save the world. Okay, that's your function. Your one function is to be happy because that is how the world is saved. Okay? And the world isn't saved until we all accept that. Yes, Terry.
I'm so happy the concept today is happiness. Because last week, I don't know what day it was, maybe Friday, I heard you can't have a happy ending unless you have a happy journey.
Oh.
So every day this whole week I've been like, okay, God, let me find that happy. Let me find that happy.
I love it. And this, yes, and this is how to let yourself be made happy by your higher self, your creator, who knows how to make you happy because it made you happy. The Course in Miracles is the first thing I ever heard that goes, your natural state is happiness, right? And I was like, what? I thought happiness was something that you find, you got to make it. You got to manifest your happiness. You got to create. I came up through the spiritual metaphysical realm, which was you create your own reality. And I was like, oh, crap. Oh, my God, another thing I'm not going to do well. I'm not going to do right. Another one I'm going to fail at. Damn it. Damn it. Oh, no. Yes, exactly. And the Course in Miracles was like, actually, you were actually created happy. I was like, what? You mean I already have happiness? I just don't know it. Yeah, that's right. You already are at peace. You already are happy. You already are eternal. You already are joyful. You already are innocent and sinless. All we're doing now is unlearning all that we learned about how we're not happy. We're guilty. You're born guilty. We need a t-shirt, born guilty. It's like humanity's slogan, born guilty. Yeah, exactly. All right. Created in sin. But have a nice day. You're going to hell. You were born guilty, but don't forget to give on your way out. Have a nice day. Okay. So then it says in paragraph 2, so we just heard in paragraph 1 about how the advanced teacher of love, someone who's really happy and peaceful, spends their day. But then the next paragraph 2 goes, but what about us? Okay. And it goes, but what about those who have not reached the certainty of the advanced teachers of love? What about us? Well, we are not yet ready for such lack of structuring on our own part. We aren't ready yet to go, God, I gave you this day. All right. And then I rest and trust all day. So I am not ready for such lack of structuring on my own part yet. So what must we do to learn to give the day to God? How do we do it? Okay. What must we do to learn to give the day to God? Well, here are some general rules which do apply. Although each one of these general rules, we each must use them as best we can in our own way. So it's going to give us some general rules as to how to use our day, how to spend our day, even though we got to learn, we got to use them as best we can in our own way. You know why? Because routines as such are dangerous. So it's not about like, here's a hard and fast rule. This is how you should spend your day, because no, these are just some general rules for you to use the best you can in your own way. Okay. Is that innocent? Is easy enough? Because the goal is not routine. I do it like this every single day. I do it like this every single day. Why are routines dangerous? Because routines can become gods in their own right. So that's why, this path is like, do the best you can as you can throughout the day. You know, it's not about do it this way every single day, this way. Right? We see how routines can become gods in their own right, which threatens the very goals for which those routines were set up. So it's not about having a routine that's like set in stone every day, but we got some general rules about how to spend your day. Also, how to spend your time. Okay, here we go. Broadly speaking, then, it can be said that it is well to start the day right. Okay, here's our first general rule about how to spend the day as a teacher of love to accomplish your goal of being happy. Start the day right. Okay, that's general. Okay, great. And it says, now it's always possible to begin again should the day begin with error. Okay, good to know. So if you didn't begin your day right and you began your day in error, that's all right. You start over. Okay, good to know.
Does that mean we get to go back to?
Could be. Okay, I'm going to go back. I need to restart my day right. I'm going back to bed. Okay. Absolutely could be. Yeah, sometimes I'll start my day over. Okay, I'm going to get a cup of coffee. I'm going to start over. Start it right. Okay. Now, it says, it is always possible to begin again should the day begin with error. Yet there are some obvious advantages in terms of saving time if the need for restarting can be avoided. Okay, so you can always begin again. You can always restart your day any time of the day if you had started your day in error. Okay, so now we're going to hear about, well, what does that mean, starting your day right? What does that mean? Okay, well, it says at the beginning, it is wise to think in terms of time, talking about saving time. Okay, we're talking about how to use our day and our time to save us time to get to our goal of being happy. Now, thinking in terms of time is by no means the ultimate criterion, but at the outset, it's probably the simplest to observe. Why? Because the saving of time is an essential early emphasis, which, although it remains important throughout the learning process, becomes less and less emphasized. So at the beginning, we're talking about saving time. Like, don't waste time. You know how it feels to waste time? Doesn't feel good. The result doesn't make us happy. So we want to learn how to use time efficiently so that we get to our goal of being happy all the sooner. Okay, that's what we're saving time towards. So at the outset, we can safely say that time devoted to starting the day right does indeed save time. Now, how much time should be so spent in the morning? This must depend on the teacher of God themselves. The teacher of God, the teacher of love, cannot claim that title until they have gone through the workbook, since we are working within the framework of our course. So in terms of being a teacher of God through A Course in Miracles, that's after you've completed the Course in Miracles and the workbook at least once. But after completion of the more or less structured practice periods, which the workbook contains, then individual need becomes the chief consideration. Okay, so after you've gone through the workbook at least once and gotten the basic structure of how to spend your day, then after that, what you need each day becomes your chief consideration. Okay, now, after you've gone through the workbook one time, now your higher self is more in charge of, like, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do today, which is what to say, here's what to do, here's where to go. Okay. Okay, great. Now, it says, so paragraph 4, this course is always practical, period. Love that. This is a practical course. Okay. And it may be that the teacher of love is not in a situation which fosters quiet thought as they awake. Okay, so it just told us what's the right way to start, what's the what's the way to start the day right, which saves you the most amount of time? It's this. It says, Carla said that, but this says that you have quiet thought as soon as you wake. Quiet thoughts as you awake. Okay. But this course is always practical. So the best way to start your day is to start with some quiet thoughts, thinking about God, giving your day to God. But the course is practical. It knows that not everybody can do that, especially if you have young children or if you have a dog like I do that wakes me up like, you know. And so that's fine, because if you are not in a situation which fosters quiet thought as you awake, let you only remember that you choose to spend some time with God as soon as possible, and let yourself do so. So how do you start the day right? Spend some quiet time with God as soon as you can and as long as you can. Okay.
Sit on the potty.
Sit on the potty.
At least, I mean, you're gonna potty, right? Like,
Okay, so yes, right. Mm-hmm.
First stand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Mine usually is like, I wake, Spirit wakes me up. I go downstairs, make myself a cup of coffee, sit in my chair. Then, and then I spend some time with God. And spending time with God, he also just said, is quiet time. So quiet time, time with God. Okay. Then it says, duration is not your major concern. So don't worry. It's not like, it's got to be 15 minutes. It's got to be 30 minutes. Duration is not your major concern. Why? Because someone can easily sit an hour with closed eyes and accomplish nothing. I don't know if you've noticed. It's called napping. Okay. I remember when I was in synagogue and when I was a kid and my dad would fall asleep and I go, Dad, you're sleeping. He goes, I was praying. And I go, I know the difference between praying and napping. Okay. So I take it you snore when you pray. Is that right? Okay. I go, I wasn't sleeping. I was praying. All right. And the reason that duration, when you're spending some time with God first thing in the morning, the reason duration is not of major concern is because one can easily sit for an hour with closed eyes and accomplish nothing. One can as easily give God only an instant, and in that instant join with God completely. Woo! It may not be a long time, but if you do it right, one will do. One will do you if you do it right. One instant. Okay, that's why the Course in Miracles talks about the spiritual practice called the holy instant. It doesn't say the holy 15 minutes. It doesn't say the holy, minute. It says the holy instant, because all it takes is one instant of what? Joining with God completely. Woo! Wow, that's so powerful. I'm so glad it only takes an instant, because I'm very distractible. So I'm like, can you do an instant? Come on, you can do an instant, right? Come on. I know you got ADD, but come on, you can do an instant. And notice how our teacher knows how we are as Americans and humans, how we're just so distractible. Our teacher knows all we can do is about an instant. So he's like, just get instant, just one instant. Okay. Can you handle that? So then it says, now perhaps the one generalization that can be made is this: as soon as possible after waking, take your quiet time, continuing a minute or two after you begin to find your quiet time difficult. Notice it didn't say, if you find your quiet time difficult. It says when. Okay. A minute or two after you find your quiet time. Isn't that funny how we find quiet time difficult? We're like, oh, I got quiet time. Ah. It says, Yes, so as soon as possible after waking, take your quiet time, continue a minute or two after you begin to find it difficult. You may find the difficulty with your quiet time will diminish and drop away. You might. If not, that is the time to stop your quiet time. And this is just a general rule. It's just a general guideline, you know. And he says, and you may not be able to do it. And if you don't, start over whenever you can. Very easy, very loving, you know. Okay, great. So the best way to begin the day right is to take your quiet time shortly after waking. Do it. What does it say? Go for a minute, and then after you find your quiet time difficult, your mind is racing, your mind is wandering, stay with it for a minute or two. You may find that the resistance drops away. And then next thing you know, half an hour, and you're like, wow, that was incredible. But if you don't find the resistance dropping, that's the time to stop. Okay? Great. So that's part one. Yes.
Those two paragraphs together give a tool that I just want to make sure we highlight, where it said at the beginning, rituals can become a god unto themselves.
Yeah.
And so often in the spiritual and personal development arena, we're given recipes.
Yes.
Right? Wake up and do your lessons.
Yes.
And minutes, go do yoga for
Yes.
We're given recipes.
That's
and
right.
What this is really telling us is those recipes become rigid to the point we can't actually hear.
Right.
And so we're being encouraged to see our innocence.
Mm.
We're stepping away from that and stepping into a more organic
Yes.
connection that fits within
Yes.
our schedule, because we create so much internal guilt
Yes.
because we're not doing whatever the professional says we should do.
Right.
Right. And this is saying, no, you don't have to do it that way.
That's right.
So I want to make sure, it gives us this level of innocence
Yes.
that we don't often allow ourselves.
Absolutely. Yes. So it's too much on the spiritual path. We like you said, we receive recipes or routines, you know, and then what happens if you don't do that routine perfectly? You give yourself guilt. And then you go, well, I didn't start the day right. So, oh, well, you know, screw it, you know, and you don't go back to it. And this is saying, don't say that. Don't be like, oh, well, I didn't start the day right, so screw it. So just go do it when you can. You know, it couldn't be any more innocent and loving than that. Yes, Kelly.
This makes me think of relationship too, like when someone else is in your physical space and just allowing for the natural flow of, if you wake up and have coffee or breakfast with that person, but knowing, like I remember washing the dishes by hand the other day. I don't know, I don't remember if I was looking out a window or not, but that's the time when I took to say, what, spirit, God, creator, universe, I say them all. What would you have me do today? Where would you have me go? And what would you have me say to whom? And I said it slower, but that was like my little time.
Yes.
And I didn't feel tense about it. So I'm right there. It's just, flowing.
It's
if I can do that first thing, fine.
Right. But if you can't,
yeah. So it's great to hear.
like you said, it's always possible to start your day again if you didn't start it right. Now, why do you suppose this is how a teacher of love, a teacher or healer should spend their day? Why do you suppose that they should start their day connecting with God, having quiet time with God?
The first choice of the day.
It's the first choice of the day. Exactly. It's what enables you to start your day with guidance, asking for guidance. This is how you ask for guidance. You ask for guidance by getting quiet, shutting up for a second, shutting your mind up for a second. How can you hear the voice for love and guidance within you when your mind is always talking? Always telling you should do this, So this is what enables us to be guided brilliantly. This is what enables us to be guided by a brilliant genius whose brilliance and love we cannot even comprehend.
And I just wanted to add this is exactly what the meaning of the statement, I need you nothing.
Yes, indeed.
There's an entire section in the text called I need you nothing.
That's right.
And it is a statement of alluding essentially to this idea of making time to do nothing and sitting quietly.
That's right.
And listen for guidance.
That's exactly right. Exactly. There's a place in the teacher's manual at the beginning where it says that you're not being asked to learn how to follow guidance because of your inherent inadequacy. He goes, literally, you learning to listen to the guidance within is your way out of hell. It actually says that. It's not because you're so dumb, it's because this is actually your way out of hell, is learning how to listen for a higher, more brilliant guidance that's always available, that's always being given you. Okay? So this is why this is how the teacher of love should begin their day, because of the guidance piece. Okay. Paragraph 5. The same procedure should be followed at night. Okay, great. So you start your day like this and you end your day like this. Perhaps your quiet time should be fairly early in the evening, if it's not feasible for you to take it just before going to sleep. Again, it's all easy, whatever's easiest for you. Then it says, it's not wise to lie down for your quiet time. Any guesses why? Anybody ever tried to meditate lying down? What happens? What happens when you lie down to meditate?
Meditate for 8 hours.
Yeah, you meditate for 8 hours. Exactly. You start snoring. You start doing the snoring meditation. I love the author of the course is so hilarious. Every time I read the course, I laugh, because it says it's not wise to lie down for your quiet time in the evening. It's so funny. It's better to sit up in whatever position you prefer. And having gone through the workbook, you must have come to some conclusion in this respect. Anybody who's gone through the workbook knows that if you lay down to work, to do your workbook, then you're going to do that with less than 5 hours, and you're going to snore. Then it says, if possible, however, just before sleeping is a desirable time to devote to God. Then it says, and the reason that this is a desirable time to devote to God is because when you do your quiet time just before going to sleep, it sets your mind into a pattern of rest. And if anybody has sleep issues or nightmare issues, this sets your mind into a pattern of rest, and it orients your mind away from fear. So this is a great way to have better sleep, where your sleep is actually peaceful, and you get more from your sleep, where you're actually resting during your sleep. It's possible to not be rested by sleep. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, because where you wake up and you're still exhausted. That's because your sleep wasn't resting you, because your mind was not in a pattern of rest. Your mind was still like working out stuff, working out fears, your brain's still problem solving your way, right? Which means through fear. Okay. So then it says, if it is expedient to spend your quiet time earlier in the evening, at least be sure that you do not forget a brief period, not more than a moment will do, in which you close your eyes and think of God. Okay. Now, when it says think about God, what does that mean? Well, the next paragraph says what it actually means. It says in paragraph 6, there is one thought in particular that should be remembered throughout the day. Okay, so we've heard about what to remember in the morning, what to remember in the evening before sleep. And now he's going to say, and then there's one thought in particular I want you to think about all through the day. Okay, ready for it? It's a good one. It's a thought of pure joy, a thought of peace, and a thought of limitless release. Limitless because all things are freed within that limitless release. Isn't that nice? Like all through the day, like Kelly said, you washing dishes or whatever. Pure joy, deep peace, limitless release. To me, that's what God means. You know, it's like God, pure joy, deep peace, limitless release. Yes.
I'm staying in different places right now, but at my house, one of my favorite things has been to make my coffee and oatmeal in the morning, even though there's a busy street out front. There's still beautiful plants and all kinds of things to be grateful for. And that's been one of my favorite things, is to sit by myself. And I've been doing this without knowing.
Yes, indeed, right.
And then there's a bird's nest in the neighbor's underneath their porch. And so, those particular birds might come to land in the tree, or I might see a hawk, or I might see geese, or there might be the beautiful swallowtail butterfly. And then my thoughts are led by that. So the things they're supposed to come to me, and I can do that for an hour. So I get this. It's like that's been one of my favorite things to do, and now I know why.
Right. And notice how because you have been actively seeking that state where you can hear the guidance, notice that you're getting the same guidance that you're hearing through here. So that tells me that you are making contact, creating that state of mind within your own mind where you are receiving that guidance from your teacher. But I love that, to take a moment and think about God is the same thing as saying, I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to think about, and notice it said, one moment will do. Pure joy, deep peace, limitless release. Limitless release in that all things, all things are released within that peace. A type of release that releases everyone and everything. There's a type of release that releases all things and everyone. Okay, that's so beautiful. So we've heard about how to start our day, how to end our day, and also a thought to remember all through the day that keeps you in touch with, keeps your mind and your heart open to God, God's guidance, God's love, God's peace, God's power, God's plan for your happiness. Okay, that thought that you remember throughout the day keeps your mind open to the guidance that knows how to guide you for happiness. It keeps your mind and heart open to the love of God, the power of God, and the peace of God. Okay, beautiful. And it's free. It doesn't cost anything. Okay, something that works to give you that kind of peace and joy and release, and it's free. It doesn't cost anything, and it doesn't have any side effects, any negative side effects. How nice. Everything I was taking for deep peace and release cost a lot. It wasn't free, and it had a lot of side effects. Okay. Okay. Then it says, you think that you made a place of safety for yourself. Okay. You think you made a place of safety for yourself. You think you made a power that can save you from all the fearful things that you see in the world. Right? It's not so. It's not true. You didn't. You know why we know? because you're still not at peace.
Right.
Still don't feel safe. All the things we do and all the energy we spent and all the money that we spent and all the guilty manipulations we've done in our relationships to give us peace and safety, it did not make us feel safe and peaceful. Okay. He says, your safety doesn't lie in all those things and all those different ways that you've been trying to make safety and peace for yourself. Okay. Or else you all feel totally safe and totally peaceful right now. Okay. He says, what you give up is merely the illusion of protecting illusions. And this is what you fear, just giving up the illusion of protecting illusions. This is what you fear, and only this. How foolish to be so afraid of nothing! Exclamation point. Nothing at all! Exclamation point. In other words, your defenses will not work. All of our defenses is all the ways of, I'm going to make myself safe. I'm going to make myself peaceful. I'm going to make myself safe. All your plans to make yourself peaceful and safe, you see, the Course calls them your defenses. I'm defending against lack of peace. He's okay. Oh, Mommy, no sudden moves. Yes, exactly. I do that to her all the time. She's always like, whoa. He says, your defense will work, but you're not in danger. All right. All the things I do to make myself feel safe and peaceful that have not worked, they don't work. And that's okay because you're not in danger. Even though none of the things that we do to make ourselves feel safe and peaceful, we're not in danger. That's good news. That's great news. And then it says, you're not in danger, and that's why you have no need of all those defenses. If you recognize this, I don't need defenses to feel safe and peaceful. I don't need my plans to be safe and peaceful. If you recognize this, then all your defenses, all the things that didn't work, they will disappear. And only then will you accept your real protection. So basically what we've been hearing about how to spend your day, right? How to spend your day so that you remain in guidance and peace and being led brilliantly. That's your real protection. That's your real safety. Being guided, being able to hear the voice for love within you, guiding you brilliantly every day, moment to moment. Where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say and to whom? God, deep peace, pure joy, limitless release. This is what does he say? This is your real protection. You know, I think about that a lot, you know, when like my ego's always telling me the world is so crazy. You need to prep. I'm a prepper. You need to prepare. You need to have more food and water. And you need a lot. You know, I'm always like prepping for my protection, thinking that prepping for my protection will bring me protection. And he's like, no, do you feel safe? No. You got all this food, all this water, all this ammunition. Do you feel safe? No. Okay. Well, having a state of mind that enables you to be acting under guidance, remembering God all through the day, giving your day to God, enabling your mind to hear the voice for God guiding you to happiness. That is your real protection, your only real protection.
So, of course, the Miracle says in its introduction that it's going to say startling things that we may resist. And
yes.
may, actively resist.
Yes.
May not believe.
Yes.
And this is one of those statements, right? Where it says your defenses will not work, but you are not in danger.
Right.
And that is exactly what activates our nervous system.
Yes.
Danger,
that's right.
Right.
That's right.
And so I don't believe I'm not in danger.
Right. Yeah, me neither. I want to. And I do have, I want to, and I've had enough instances of doing what A Course in Miracles told me to do, where I was like, whoo, I feel safe. You know, all the things that I've ever done to make myself feel safe or peaceful, not a single one of them has made me feel safe or peaceful. But this, A Course in Miracles, is that's free and doesn't really take much effort. It's the only thing where I've been like, wow, I feel peaceful, because I know because of A Course in Miracles that I will never be without that voice for God within me, that is always ready to guide me in safety, peace, joy, love, any instant that I ask. Any instant that I lay down my own plans for safety and peace that never worked and are expensive, you know, very. Only then was I like, wow, I feel safe. I feel peaceful. Why? Because I know I'm being guided. I feel my connection with the source of all knowledge, the source of all life, the source of all abundance, the source of all support. That's your real protection. And so throughout the day, it's trying to teach us how to stay in contact with our real source of protection all through the day, not just when we're like, oh crap, I'm in danger. God, you know, what do we call people who like only call out to God when they're in danger? You know, it's like, no. What did you say? Thank you. Foxhole syndrome. Foxhole spirituality. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So, and I just had a realization, I don't know if I'd call it an epiphany, but I've always kind of questioned, okay, well, why do people like Earl Purdy, Raj, or Anna Quinn, or Matt get up and teach class and have been doing this for 40 years? Why aren't they like 100% perfect?
Yeah.
So, but maybe you're at the point where 59 of the 60 minutes in an hour, you're there, and in order for me to relate to you, yeah, this is what I've just figured out, is that you can say, my ego makes me prepare so I just figured that out myself. There's a reason that you're not,
right, exactly.
And me too. Like
right.
I'm teaching people and I'm a teacher of love. Well, that's why I'm still working on it, because that's the only way that someone else is going to be able to relate.
Yes.
Yeah, because if your life was like so perfect and you couldn't talk or relate,
yes,
ego has those thoughts.
Yeah, that's what
I'd be like, well, can't relate to Anna.
Right, exactly. And the Course in Miracles does actually say that it's the function of the teachers of God not to be without problems, but to escape from them. Because it says illusions, which means problems, still need to cling to us, because everybody else needs a teacher they can relate to. Honestly, I don't want a teacher who's perfect and can't relate to me, and so it says, stop trying to be like, oh, I still have problems. I guess I'm not enlightened. I shouldn't teach A Course in Miracles. I still have problems. No. Illusions still must cling to you, because otherwise people could not relate to you at all. Yeah, it says that.
However, you're teaching because you are further in that process.
Exactly. And what I said was, I am not a perfect teacher of God. But I have had the experience for 41 years that every single time I did this instead of my plan, it was great. I can say for very confidently. And my life is getting happier and more peaceful and feeling more safe. I feel more safe and peaceful in my life right now than I ever did, Yes.
So I think this is also why, of course, the Miracle says we're all students and teachers of each other. So as a teacher of God, I'm still learning.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And maybe when we get to that totally enlightened
Yeah.
that could maybe be different, but really right here, right now, we're all learning, we're all teaching,
That's right.
It's so exciting. And the more that we do tune in to the guidance, then the more we can teach and the more we can learn.
Yes, exactly. Yes, Gentry.
So I've been the past 6 months doing a morning ritual of what I call God journaling and then doing a lesson. And it's interesting how when this stuff starts working into your life and that peace starts to come through, it raises the bar for how you set the standards for everything else in your life, to include dating. So I've had this experience where I was exploring dating this man who has, by world standards, everything. The house, I mean, he owns a Mercedes G-Wagon, a BMW, great career, blah, blah. But he was so negative and just complaining all the time. And, you know, I was trying to like show him other ways of being, like, hey, have you thought about this? Or, you know, look at this, that, or the other. And it just seemed like every time he would fix one problem, he'd create 5 more. And so I think a lot of times, you know, we forget how conditioned we are to looking for the negativity, looking for problems, creating more problems, when it's like, I literally said to him, do you know how many people are praying for your life? You have everything you could possibly want.
Right.
Quit complaining. And I finally just had to be like, peace out. I can't do this because it just was lowering my vibration. And, you know, there was a point where I was helping him clean his house for Airbnb. He was freaking out about the sheets not being done. And I had to walk into the next room and just like sing to myself. You know, he was so just about it. And I don't know, it's funny how I was probably a version of him at some point, complaining about life all the time and looking for all the problems. And once you stop doing that, you start seeing it more in other people and that contrast. And it's just like, oh my God.
Yeah, he was, yes, he was one of the people who was sent to you that day to help you fully learn that or reaffirm that lesson. And, you know, and we were talking, it's also a great example of what we were talking about your defenses for peace and safety will not work, you know, and, you know, hit that you're talking about, he had all the power, that money, you know, where the life people are praying for, but that was his defense to feel safe, and notice it didn't work, you know.
One last,
Yeah.
Sorry, one last thought about that. So I saw a mantra recently, or a meme. I'm making this my life mantra because, again, the conditioning, we're used to hearing what's the worst that could happen, and this said what's the best that could happen.
I love it.
I honestly, I
Love
think
it.
I was annoying him because I was overconfident.
Yes, you were, I'm sure. I'm sure you were annoying him.
I'm sorry, I'm so
It's like,
positive.
I am not going to see that girl anymore. She is too positive.
Right? What's the best that can happen? Oh, yeah.
Like where that's such a potential temptation to slip into a special relationship because he has what I don't have.
Yeah.
I have what
Like,
he
I could
doesn't
have a great life with him, but I'd be.
This would be, and then, not so much.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would rather have nothing and have my peace than have all the.
Amen to that. Amen to that. All right.
And it's not either, but it's not maybe that one.
All right. So let's go on to paragraph 7. We got a few more minutes. We're doing great. See if we got any comments. Hi, Mary says, you look beautiful and all right. Thank you. I'm not going to read the rest. Okay. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. That's nice. Okay. All right. So I love, because so then it says, so remember we're paragraph 6, the last 2 sentences of paragraph 6. Recognize this, your defenses won't work, but you're not in danger. And then your defenses will disappear. And only then will you accept your real protection. All right. Then it says in paragraph 7, how simply and how easily does time slip by for the teacher of God who has accepted their protection. Isn't that nice? When you have accepted your real protection, time just slips by so easily. so easily and what? Quickly. No, time, what does it say? Simply and easily. Time just slips by, la, la, la. So easy. Time just slips by. Oh, look, it's evening. Ah, look at that. It's evening already. Whoa, wow. I didn't even notice time slipping by. You know how when you're having fun, time slips by, don't even notice time going by? Okay. When you have accepted your real protection, which is your godly connection, you accept your real protection. I love that. All right. And so if you're having an issue with time, I don't have enough time, I got too much time, I don't have enough time, I'm losing time, right? If you're having an issue with time like that, it's because you're not using time to experience your real protection, what makes you really safe, what makes you really peaceful, okay? Only then you experience time as like, oh, I don't have enough time, I'm wasting time, too much time. Okay. Okay. Then it says, still in paragraph 7, sentence 2, and all that you did before in the name of safety no longer interests you because you are safe and you know it to be so. And what does that mean? You know you're safe and you know it's so. It's because you know you have a guide that will not fail. You know you're safe because you know you have a guide that will not fail. And so now time just slips by easily and peacefully for you. Wow, you know your real protection. And so now you don't need to make any distinctions among the problems you perceive, because the one to whom you turn with all your problems recognizes no order of difficulty in resolving your problems. Now I'm not like, oh, I got this problem, and then I also got this problem. Like you were saying, Gentry, the guy's complaining about everything. I got this problem. You know, how you doing? You got an hour? You know, as somebody asks you how things are going, you're like, got an hour? I got a lot of problems. Like, no, I don't have an hour. I don't. Because I know that all the problems you tell me are going to be the same problem. You trying to do it yourself. You know, all those different problems you think you have are just, you have one problem. You're trying to make your safety and your protection for yourself. You're not turning to your guide that will not fail to make you happy and be your real protection. Right? Okay. Then it says, you are safe in the present as you were before your problems were accepted into your mind, and you are as safe as you will be when you have let all your problems go. Why? Because you are bringing all your problems to the guide who will not fail to resolve them all for you. And so all your problems are just, all my problems is one problem, you know, one problem where I'm trying to make my safety and protection for myself. And then and the only thing I do is I give it to the guide who will not fail to resolve all my problems. Yes.
I just wanted to share one quick example that sometimes the guidance will be to act.
Mm-hmm.
There was a situation, probably a decade ago, where I had a light switch in the house that was starting to act a little flaky, and I already bought the light switch, and it sat on a shelf, and it just sat there and sat there and sat there. One evening, I was doing something else. I was probably watching TV, and all of a sudden, I got this,
light bulb.
go change that light switch. And I wasn't fearful or anything. I just, it was strong enough guidance that I got off my ass and just went and did it right there in that moment.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I was told what to do.
Yes, exactly. You didn't have to suffer or struggle with that problem. You know, you were given guidance as to when and how to fix it, you know. Exactly. So when you are bringing your problems to the guidance that is within you, the voice for God within you, you don't need to worry about your problems. You know, you don't have to make distinctions among your problems and worry about them, because the one to whom you turn with all your problems recognizes no order of difficulty in resolving your problems. And this is how you experience being as safe right now as you were before all those problems were accepted into your mind. And this is how you experience that you'll be safe even after you have let all those problems go. Wow. This is how to feel safe in the moment right now.
I was just gonna say, when it comes to problems, like, you're the common denominator, right? We're not.
Yes.
We don't have problems. We create our problems.
Yes, thank
So we
you.
are
I
the
love
problem
it.
because we're
Yeah,
choosing the problem.
that's right. I love it. I love that. We don't have problems. We are making problems. And the one to whom we turn with all of our problems recognizes no order of difficulty in resolving our problems. This is what enables us to experience ourselves as safe right now as we were before our problems were accepted into our mind, and as safe as we will be after we have let our problems go.
I love in the purple book, the section that talks about giving over the minutia.
Yes.
Right? We do get
Yes.
in the habit of believing, okay, I'll surrender the big things.
Right.
To God, Creator, Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
But I should be responsible for something, so at least let me take care of these minutia.
Mm-hmm.
And really, by handing over the minutia in life, we hand over our lives.
That's exactly right. And we receive, when we hand, our problems are all our defenses that we made up that we think will make us feel safe. Like, that's where my problems come from. This is me. This is a defense I made up that I told myself would make me feel safe and peaceful. And that's my problems, right? You know, and then turning to Spirit for guidance, that undoes all my problems, because that is what makes me that's my real protection.
I was gonna say that those survival mechanisms.
Yes.
They did.
That's right.
Function. They served.
That's right. That's what our problems are.
Yes.
They're all of our survival strategies.
And they worked. We survived.
Exactly. That's
Now we
right.
need a different job.
That's right. Exactly. But they did something, but they sure didn't make us feel safe or happy. And they were freaking expensive.
What do I do with myself if I have nothing to complain about?
Oh, well, what would you do with yourself if you didn't have a bunch of problems that you were complaining about? Well, let's find out. Let's find out. All right, I'm going to finish this paragraph, and then we're going to go on to our fellowship. Now, then it says, there is no difference in our state at different times and different places, because all of our problems are one to God. All of our problems are the same to God. We're like, here's a new problem, God. And he's like, yeah, that's not new. He said, yeah, no, that's not new. He said, and then it says, this is your safety, and you have no need for more than that. Turning all your problems over to the one who has no problem resolving them all, who sees no difference in your problems, recognizes no order of difficulty in resolving all your problems. This is your safety, and you have no need for more than that. Okay, you want a real plan for safety and peace you to make up? This is it.
It's surprising to me that they don't bring up in this section that the only problem we have is our feeling separate from.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, remember, this section is assuming that you've already read the text and gone through the workbook. So it's assuming, yeah, exactly. This is the end of the book, you know, but the course does say that we only have one problem. It just takes a lot of different forms. And that one problem is believing that we're separate from God and each other and all of creation. Okay. All right. Well, that's where we're going to stop for today, since we're over time as usual. Thank you for being here.
I think we need a 2-hour.
I know. There's only so much the ego can take, you know. Exactly. You know, so even an hour and a half is a long time for Course in Miracles for most folks. So, okay. So let's do our love offering. Thank you, Matt, for sending that around. And you guys online.
To the chat top, right, towards the top.
Yeah. Oh, and you guys online, I'm just trying to read TG. The only problem we think we have is, yes, and that's the problem. Very good. Excellent. Okay. And you guys online, in the comment section is the web address for the Rocky Mountain Miracle Center website. If you would like to make a financial expression of appreciation, check in the comment section and go make a donation. And thank you so much. And thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for all your support of the Rocky Mountain Miracle Center, truly. This Miracle Center is here because of us, truly. Is here because of us. We don't get government grants. I don't know why, but you know, I don't know why, but the ego world doesn't really support us. And so we are it. And so we deeply, deeply appreciate you being here and supporting the Miracle Center financially, truly. You know, we are the Miracle Center. If we don't support it, it's not here. So thank you all so very much. All right. Okay. Announcements, Carla?
I'm going to segue